by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
Let's get ready to rumble! Y'all ready for this?
Well, good Monday morning, everyone, and welcome to another Coffee Time with Blind United. Of course, you guys know I'm Ed, and I am joined today. I got Brittany. Good morning, Brittany.
Good morning, everybody.
We got Carol. Good morning, Carol.
Good morning.
And my brother, Pedro. How you doing, my brother?
Hey, what up, guys? Welcome to Mellow Mondays, I guess is what I'm going to call it.
All that good stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a slow moving Monday. I don't know. We need to figure out a nice one for that one. But anyway, we got one interest group for today, and that would be our support group with Dominic Martin. So come in at 6 p.m. Pacific time and come see what Dominic has for us. He's always got some
talking
really
about
interesting stuff.
intersectionality today.
Yeah. So come on in, check us out, and see what Dominic's talking about. And 6 p.m. tonight, I'm pretty sure you'd enjoy what he's got going on. He's teaching us how to deal with different things going on in our life and the things around us. So that's going to be a pretty good one. So anyway, how was everybody's weekend? Well, I guess everybody had a boring weekend. I know, Carol, you just got your electricity back, so I guess that was exciting.
Yes, finally, I'm back into the land of technology. You know, the power being off, it wasn't a big deal because I kind of live in the dark, but just technology. So catching up on a few things, cooking, other than eating sandwiches or salads that I had. So those type of things is what I was doing.
Right. Well, I know it ain't easy. Like you say, being without the lights is one thing. Doing without electricity is a little bit different. But just trying to save your perishables.
Yes, my
In
food. Mm-hmm.
that instance, so well, it was pretty quiet over here. Just relaxed a little bit and got the schedule out to you guys and stuff like that, and But other than that, it was pretty quiet weekend out at my spot. So anyway, we got quite a few articles that we got stashed away over here. I know Paige was trying to figure out. We had played one. I can't remember which one we played Friday, but we got a lot of other ones. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to him and let him start playing with his buttons.
All right, let's start.
Boeing sets its own quality targets under pact with FAA. Air safety regulator says it will monitor jet makers' performance based on quality metrics set by the company. The Federal Aviation Administration said Boeing has crafted performance goals that the agency will use to determine whether the jet maker's efforts to improve quality are succeeding. Boeing on Thursday formally submitted a plan to the U.S. Air Safety Agency, which has increased its scrutiny on the jet maker after a fuselage panel blew off a 737 MAX during an Alaska Airlines flight in January. FAA Administrator Mike Whitaker, speaking at a news conference before Boeing publicly described its plan's general contents, said the company had set 6 key performance indicators by which regulators will measure how the manufacturer improves. Whitaker declined to detail those metrics and deferred to Boeing, which didn't list them in a press release later Thursday. The FAA previously imposed limits on Boeing's 737 MAX production, and Whitaker said regulators would monitor Boeing's performance based on the metrics the company set. We will follow that closely, and as we go through the next few months, we'll start to define what we expect in order to allow additional growth, Whitaker said. Earlier Thursday, Boeing Chief Executive David Calhoun and Commercial Chief Stephanie Pope presented the plan to Whitaker and other FAA officials. Whitaker said Thursday the FAA wouldn't lift the production cap it placed on Boeing following the accident for at least several months. That limit of 38 737s per month is nearly twice the rate at which Boeing has been churning out the jets since the accident. Executives have said they hope to increase production later in the year. Boeing said it would release more details of the plan shortly. The company said it would focus on workforce training investments, simplifying manufacturing plans and processes, eliminating defects, and improving its quality and safety culture. The FAA said that Boeing leadership made a commitment to Whitaker to release more information about its quality improvement plan, and that the agency expected the company to do so in the interest of transparency and public confidence. Among the steps the company said it is taking purchasing new tooling and equipment, implementing daily compliance sweeps, getting managers to spend more time on the factory floor, and deploying workforce coaches and trainers to work on assembly lines. We are confident in the plan that we have put forward and are committed to continuously improving, Pope, head of Boeing's commercial airplane unit, said in a statement. Whitaker said the FAA will use other metrics in addition to Boeing's performance measures, such as culture surveys and a greater number of inspectors in the company's factories. Now back to the...
Well, this is something I actually do have a little knowledge of. Back in the day, I used to work at a testing laboratory. These large aircraft are no longer held together with rivets. They started a while back where they created this carbon fiber, graphite bonding thing that they would put instead of rivets, and that's what they use to bond these panels together. And I'm just wondering, I mean, again, it's carbon fiber, but at the same time, it's, glue, like a really advanced super glue kind of thing. So I don't know, maybe the stress on the planes is getting to be too much for them or something, or I don't know. But
Well, what about if they could use both methods?
well, I mean, I
Right.
think that would be great. I mean, the
Mm-hmm.
beauty of dealing with rivets back in the day was you could tell when the panel was getting loose.
Mm.
Yeah, because the rivet would move around. You would be able to see that, as you inspected the plane, you could detect those loose rivets.
And then tighten them up.
And well, basically drill them out and put a new rivet in.
Okay. Oh, that sounds more streamlined, but it sounds like it'd be a little more costly. And with the glue, you could just slap it on, have a tub of glue, and not worry about these rivets. And I don't know. It seems like their production, they kind of cut back on it.
I mean, again, cutting back on, costs and manufacturing expenses and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'm probably sure that, because, all of the drilling for the rivets, all that stuff had to be precise, all that kind of stuff. And this kind of eliminated the need for all of that, by bonding it with this graphite panel.
Yeah.
So again, I just hope that that's not coming back to bite him at this point. And, again, just as, they made that statement in Hidden Figures, they had their stuff bonded to the one of the capsules, and They realize now we need ribbons and the glue. We need everything we can get. So
Of
hopefully
course.
maybe they'll go back to that, and it'll be a more secure plane. I mean, you can't take chances with people's lives up in the air like that.
Yeah,
That's
that's what they're
so.
doing. That's what they're doing with having uh having defected items and panels. You heard that? Oh, we're gonna stop using defected panels. That's something from the start you should have been doing. It's
Right?
defected. Like, come on.
Right?
Am I the only one with the common sense? I'm thinking like, what's going on?
No.
And plus, the government left it up to them to come out with a plan and their little guidelines. Uh, and they just made a promise. I will promise to. I forgot the gentleman's name. I will promise to him to put out more reports. He didn't promise to no committee, to no well, he might be an official, but I mean like to somebody that could hold him accountable for not doing his job.
Right. Well, I mean, it's got me, a little nervous about being up in them planes right now. But at the same
Hmm.
time, I hate that everything seems to sometimes, you can kind of bring it around full circle. Boeing is they a major
Yes.
corporation that receives government contracts for doing a lot of different stuff, and they do a lot of lobbying. So who knows where why they were allowed to internally try to fix their issue rather than having an outside third party government,
Hmm.
FAA kind of thing. Keep track of what they're doing, and monitor what they're doing. Make sure they're doing the right thing rather than just doing what's cheaper for them. You know.
Yeah, because they actually have people's lives on their hand when they're
They
up in the
do.
air.
It's just a
Um,
matter of time before, I mean, things are flying through the windows and hurting individuals, and you're having to rely on the pilot to be so skilled that they can land a plane under these circumstances. But what if something major happens to where they're not able to do that and it crashes and kills all of the people that are aboard? Then what?
This is absolutely true. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know they practice this kind of stuff in these flight simulators and stuff, but again, it's just a simulation. It's not real life.
It's not real life. That's right. And
plus,
they're
plus,
dealing with real lives. It makes,
yeah.
people afraid sometimes to get on the planes. I know they say planes are safer than vehicles down here, but uh,
There's more vehicles on the road than there's planes, though.
yeah,
Well,
true,
exactly. And
true.
then you ain't never heard of no 300 people getting taken out in a car accident either.
No, no, you haven't.
So,
I know. You don't hear of panels flying out,
No, you
right.
don't.
You
but
don't have fenders and stuff flying off as you're rolling down the freeway, right?
That's right. That's right.
and,
Body
and
parts.
and you could just stop and get off the car. In a plane, oh my
Oh,
lord,
it's nothing you can do.
And there's not a
you
whole
know.
lot you can do.
And
So,
plus, they should
I
be
mean, a
held to a
floating
higher
device and
standard.
breathing apparatus is not going to help that plane crashing.
so
Hmm.
did this add to your fear, Miss Britt, or are you good? You think they'll be all right?
No, I'm not flying until they figure it out.
They just, yeah, we do rely on Boeing too much. They do get government contracts. They do good work. Okay, let's not get it wrong. But there are a company, and the main goal of a company is increasing profits and and compensating their CEOs and stuff like that, their board members and things like that. So sometimes, and I'm not saying Boeing. I'm saying sometimes certain companies or certain groups within companies have the idea, let's just throw money at the problem, and that helps. I know I was reading a story. A company got fined, and they decided, okay, let's just continue doing what we're doing, and it's easier to just pay the fine. It's cheaper to fix. It's cheaper to pay the fine than fix the problem.
Wow.
Right. Well,
Yeah, and
uh,
and they were just paying the fee. You know, It didn't even fix the problem. I was reading this article of another company that was you know that's what
That's
they were doing.
crazy.
You know, I mean,
And
myself. That's why I always stress. When people want to, oh, we need to cut back on some of these regulations. The government is being too strict here, being too strict there. No, that's their job is to overcompensate and make sure that people's lives are not being put at risk. I mean, these guidelines are in place to keep the public safe, and then even within these corporations, whether it's Boeing or General Foods, I don't care. You got to put customer service, customer safety in front of shareholder profits. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? You
yeah,
got to. You
you
got
have
to.
to. It's a necessity.
So, hopefully they'll get this stuff together. I mean, like I say, when people quit getting on these airplanes, they gonna figure it out real quick. You know. So maybe I'm glad I didn't take that trip the other day.
Right?
But again, hopefully they'll get this problem fixed real soon. Again, I don't know that they're still bonding these panels together the way as I was last working on it. But even if they are, like I said, just adding the rivets back into the mix to me would, now you got double bonding. You got a bond with a rivet, and you got a bond with the glue and the graphite. So to me, that when it comes to human safety, there's nothing wrong with overkill. You know,
especially if you're up 30,000, 30,000 feet in the air.
right?
Right.
Flying at 300 and some odd miles an hour or whatever it is.
Yeah, and basically, like, not to probably put more fear in people, but it's just a tube with a fuselage, with
That's
fuel
all.
inside of it,
That's
That's
it.
all.
pressurized.
You know,
But
I,
it could be safe if they take the proper precautions, the precautions, even if it costs us a little more. But hey, lives deserve that little cost, you know.
I mean, they already doing us wrong. I mean, like I said, I can remember back in the day, if your flight was overbooked or whatever, or they had to cancel, they put you up in a hotel. They give you meal vouchers, all this other kind of stuff till they get you on another plane. Now, excuse my language, y'all, but you just ass out,
Right?
you
Well, they
know.
give you vouchers and stuff, and that's what they wanted to. What you just said about the hotel, but they had limits. But um, Biden just passed that, took that, made it them to give you your whole refund back,
Mm.
cash.
Mm.
So if
Well,
you
but they
wanted it,
still got guidelines in there. You know what I'm saying? You
yeah,
gotta,
but you could
cancel your
ask for
flight,
your refund.
right? But you got to cancel your flight within a certain period of time. I mean, it's just all kind of little, what they want to call their policy stuff on the other end of that. If you don't follow their policies, you ain't getting nothing back.
See,
So
that's
uh,
that lobbying part right there.
yes, sir, yes,
That's that
sir.
lobbying part, and I think we shouldn't be able to have lobby groups because they take over. They take more account. It seems to politicians than their actual bosses. That is the public. The citizens of the United States. Even though these lobbyists are companies, they're not people. You know, but sometimes they take with their donations and all the things they do, sometimes they get their way. They get to kind of set their guidelines and things like that, as we heard in the article.
Right, right. I mean, and again, I think I'm more against paid lobbyists that are there, and then they're promising this, promising that, trying to, I'm not going to say that they don't deserve, a seat at the table and be able to, express their side of the transaction. But at the same time, it's again, we also have the right to go and speak to our representatives and lobby for the things that we want to get passed. But because chances are our money is nowhere near as long as them other folks are going to win out. You know what I'm saying? They're going to
Right.
get that money that's I mean, to me, the easiest way to do all of this, take money out of politics. There shouldn't be no money in politics. It's just that simple. I'm sorry. Whenever there's money involved, there's going to be corruption because somebody gonna want that more. They're gonna want more money and more money and more money. That greed takes over. I
Mhm.
mean, if you become a candidate for whatever office, that warrants TV commercials and stuff like that, then I feel that the networks ought to be able to provide certain levels of money. I mean, why? Because they are also subsidized. So therefore, you know, everybody gets equal airtime. You come up with your commercials or whatever and let
Mhm.
them play, equal airtime rather than, oh, okay, well, I got $100 million more than him, so I can flood the market over here. I can flood the
Mhm.
market. Man, the hell with all that.
What about
You know,
have you heard of voting dollars, or what they call it, donation dollars or something like that? Heard of the government? Let's say they put out a program. They give each citizen, somebody that's gonna vote, 100 voting dollars, right? This $100, you could put it towards a candidate, split it up, and give it to different candidates, but everybody will have this, and it's not hardcore cash. It's just you to use for you to support your candidate, and this could probably upset, like, balance out. Is what I'm trying to say.
well,
Balance the lobby,
bring it back more down to a grassroots thing. You know
like
what I'm saying?
an
And that's
equal playing
cool.
ground.
I agree. I agree with that. But I've always had this thought process as well. I mean, they're getting all these hundreds and millions of dollars and whatever to
Hmm.
do, run a campaign or whatever, and you run into, LA. You want to vote in LA. Okay, well, spend some of that money in LA. Do something in LA. Build a homeless shelter. Build a food bank. Build a park. You know what I'm saying? Do something for the people of LA. You know what I'm saying? Don't just dump that money right back in the media corporate mechanism, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, no, help the people that you're trying to get the vote from. Spend that money in their area. Spend it in their district. You know what I'm saying? Show these
Yeah,
people that you really want their vote.
yeah, because yeah, you do see that a lot. Politicians, they got their ad money and they spend it in ads and all that into all these different networks and all that money gets shuffled back up. It never comes back down to the ground roots,
No, it doesn't. No,
unless
it
they,
doesn't.
yeah, unless it's a nonprofit doing community work, and
Well,
other means like that. And there is politicians that volunteer their time and they be out in their community, but sometimes I'm talking about the main stage politicians, and sometimes we see them on the Senate or on the arguing back and forth in all these different meetings they have. Sometimes I feel like, hey, they're worse than my kids sometimes. How they bicker back and forth.
Right.
well, you see that separation come once they make that transition from state to federal. You know what I'm saying? When they get elected into an office in D.C., uh, that that
National stage.
like I said, the national stage. That's when we kind of lose all of it. That compassion for their for their community, their districts, their whatever the case may be. So
They lose their
sad. This,
passion.
and again, it's sad. Again, we're talking
Hmm.
about airplanes, but this stuff does play a big part of that. It really does. So don't sleep on it. Your vote matters. Who you elect in matters. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we're not saying who to vote for, but bottom line, vote. You
Yeah, your
know,
voice matters.
your voice matters. Your vote matters. You got to be overwhelming. So
And if you feel like your vote don't count because of the national stage voting and all that, remember you have more power within your local community. and voting and getting those policies passed, talking to those representatives of your county or of your city, going to the town hall and making your voice heard. It starts locally, and you get people that are like-minded and get into local spots, and then they move up to a stage that is for the state, and then they could maybe make it to national. But sometimes, and it happens to me. Sometimes I just worry about the national stage and forget about my local, even though they have a lot of props that I'll be reading and stuff, and I'll be like, okay, I know what I'm gonna do,
Right,
but
right.
sometimes as a blind individual, sometimes it's a hassle getting to that voting machine, and oh my god, it's confusing to me sometimes, and I don't
It
like
can
people.
be, and it doesn't need to be. It
Right.
really doesn't. I mean, the technology that's out there now. I mean, myself personally, I prefer using the mail-in system where I do the digital marking system where I log in. You know what I'm saying? It prints out what my choices are, and then I take that and put that in the envelope with my mail-in ballot and send it in, and I'm good. I've done everything in the privacy of my own home. The problem with that is what? You got to have a printer. You got to be able to print your choices out. And for a lot of people, that's not an option. But for other people around the planet, I mean, whether they're in the military, excuse me, or doing, contract work out of the country, they got a digital platform for them to use, and it's all digital. They don't have to worry about it. So, I mean, again, they could apply that same digital platform over here. So, for those that don't have bottom line is just another option, a digital option, to be able to vote that way.
Yeah.
I don't see the issue with it, but for those folks that are trying to, cut down on how many people have the ability to vote, they see all kind of issues in it. So,
Hmm.
hey, it is what it is. So, but what we're gonna do? It's America. All we can do is vote and try to get the right people in place and hope that they stay true to the people as they progress. Up that or we say corporate ladder, but the political ladder. I don't know. They kind of one and the same, I think, but but again, you got to just hope that they stay true to the people that they were elected to serve.
Yeah, yeah, and you do have a point. It is a revolving door, and that door is one side corporate, one side politics, and they be back and forth. And sometimes you find CEOs from a company being in there, or they leave politics and get into a lobbying group and stuff like that. Like, you know,
Yep.
so it's a revolving door. So it's like you scratch my back, I scratch your back, and you know what I mean.
And in the end, the American people get screwed.
We're left out in the sidewalk.
Right.
We're left out in the sidewalk.
So, but again, we got to, we got to. There's a better way, and hopefully, we'll get it worked out. You know what I'm saying? If we just got right now, we got to get past this threat to our democracy. Yeah, once we get past this threat, then we can probably, hopefully, eliminate some of the loopholes that have been discovered in this process, and close all that stuff out and try to find a way to make it better. So,
Yeah,
uh,
well, I believe probably after this election, we might have slightly better candidates. I feel personally, and this is just my view, I feel like there's more younger people voting now, but there's more younger people aware too, and I feel like they're not representative within the age group within our body of government, even our presidential body, like the two candidates running, they're way disconnected from meaning disconnected from the younger youth, disconnected from the young millennials, like the 30s
right,
and 40-year-olds and stuff.
yeah, right, 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 right.
I feel like we'd been kind of handed the short stick and shoved these two candidates in front of our faces without having proper other people kind of get in the race a little bit. I think they've been not suppressed. The suppress is the wrong word, but I think they've been shoved to the side and been like, this is the biggest threat to society going, and I think with that scarcity, people are like getting turned off. Yes, it is a big threat to our democracy, but come on, Biden, what are you gonna do to get our vote? Not don't just continue coming out saying, "Oh, it's a big threat to our society. It's a big threat." Yes, we know what's been going on. Some people feel like that, some people don't. But what are you gonna do? What's on the agenda? What's coming up? And I haven't been hearing really nothing. I've been hearing something from the other side too, and I don't like what I'm hearing. I keep hearing more funds are gonna be getting used for more war, and I think that's like we've been handed the short sticks, the bottom of the barrel, I
Well,
guess you
see
could
that
kind of
stuff
say.
right there, Pedro, has never changed. When it comes to the industrial war complex, they always get over half of whatever our budget may be. Like I say, we spend more, three times more on defense than all the other countries around the world together. So I mean, again, we're just overkill on that, and a lot of it has to do with, like you say, the government contract. These folks are getting millions and billions of dollars to build planes and different, weapons of war that may not ever see action. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they don't
And
spend $1 billion on something and come to find out, you know what? It don't work. Oh well, let's go back to the drawing board and start all over with something else. We need a new grant.
yes,
You
it's
know,
true. It's true.
so,
Sometimes
uh,
they don't see the light of day. Sometimes, like the F-35, the F-35 has a lot of problems. Even when they put it out, when they started buying it for use, it was still missing some of their targeting systems. Some of the software was not all developed yet. Um, it had a cannon under in the bottom. It was having problems. It's a lot of problems, but we're buying this. And I say we because us as taxpayers, as citizens, we're paying that bill. Not the
yeah.
government. Not the government. They just write the check. We're paying that bill, you know?
So anyway, yeah, there's a big issue, and again, Boeing is a big part of that as well. Trying to bring this back around to the original topic, because why? Not only do they provide, passenger planes and stuff like that, but they provide military equipment as well. So, again, it's some government contracts, man. Uh,
You're correct.
anyway,
You're
so
correct.
anyway, I don't want to make this whole show about politics and stuff.
It's tangled into it a little bit.
Yeah,
Um,
it is always is. I mean, we can find a way to bring it around full circle, but
but
uh,
in that note, we will cut to a quick break, guys.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United.
Unleash your creativity and spice up your senses at the Blind United Turn It Up and Paint event. Join us on June 22nd from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. in Fontana, California for an afternoon filled with art, flavor, and fun. For just $30, get your own canvas and paint kit, enjoy delicious carne asada nachos, other tasty appetizers, and receive a coupon for one of 3 Turn It Up items to use at the event. Don't miss out on this unique experience brought to you by Blind United under the leadership of our CEO, Ed Davis. It's not just an event, it's a celebration of creativity and community. Secure your spot now. Call us at 1-909-846-8825 or email info@blindunited.org. We can't wait to see you there and watch your creativity soar. Feeling lucky? Join Blind United for a thrilling day at Viejas Casino and Resort. Slaw Machine. Mark your calendars for Friday, August 9th. We're rolling out from 2 locations, Montclair and Buena Park at 9 a.m. sharp, so don't be late. For just $21, you can enjoy a ride filled with fun, refreshments, and the chance to win big. Remember, space is limited, and the deadline for your payment is July 20th. All bookings are non-refundable after July 20th. Bring your poker face and your ID and get ready for a day of excitement and entertainment. No worries about the drive. We've got you covered. You can just relax there and back. Book your spot now. Contact Cheryl at 909-821-9589, C. Thurston74@gmail.com, or Pedro at 323-631-2122, P. Aguilera at blindunited.org. Let's hit the jackpot together. You can sell your payments to Blind United Incorporated by using the email blindunited2022@gmail.com.
Come on out and let's hit a jackpot together. That's what I'm talking about. So anyway, Britt, we got any comments down below, sweetie?
We do. Monica said good morning. So good morning, Monica.
Morning, Monica.
Okay. All right. Well, what else we got next, my brother? Did we lose Pedro?
Yeah, I'm
no.
right here. Sorry.
No, I was saying, well, what do we got next?
Let me see. Sorry, I was just putting the comment on stage, but let's go. I got an article about more rumors about AI and ChatGPT and Siri coming on. This is getting close to the WWDC coming. I think it's June 8th or June 9th, but they have up here. Oh, June 10th, but I think they're what they do up here in Cupertino, it starts on the 9th, but June 10th, 10 a.m. is the Apple thing. I try to get some notes and clips for that. I write something down and see if I can get a few articles. That's gonna be pretty dope. I'm a junkie. I'll be in there. I'll be there watching. But let's play this article.
More details about the AI features expected at WWDC. We already know that Apple is planning major AI announcements for iOS 18 at WWDC, but a new report has given us a clearer view of what that might look like. Apple Insider has shared new details about AI-related features for iOS 18, including new capabilities for Siri, messages, notes, and photo editing. The collection of AI-powered features, internally codenamed Gray Matter, is focused on practical benefits for the end user, the outlet said. This involves integrating AI features within existing apps and services with the intent of creating a seamless experience that Apple users can easily adopt. Apple's AI-powered features are believed to be largely powered by its Ajax LLM, but a rumored deal with OpenAI also means iOS 18 could have ChatGPT-related features. This may include multimodal capabilities for generating and recognizing video, which Ajax reportedly doesn't have. Apple is expected to support AI features on device, but given generative AI's large computing demands, as well as a partnership with OpenAI, some features might be farmed out to the cloud. Siri's reported major upgrade. One of the biggest announcements expected at WWDC is a massive revamp of Apple's voice assistant, Siri. New reports from Apple Insider say this could include something called Gray Matter Catch-up, which would enable users to request a summary of recent notifications by invoking Siri. The voice assistant is expected to generally become much smarter and be able to integrate with other apps to incorporate calendar events, locations, and dates into its notification summaries. Apple is also reportedly testing more natural voices, which hopefully don't sound too like celebrities, following OpenAI's Scarlett Johansson debacle. Smart replies could be coming to Messages, Siri, and Mail. Related to the summarization features reportedly coming to iOS 18 apps, new reports say this could include something called Smart Replies, which recommends messages and email drafts generated by Apple's LLM. This could be like existing features from Google and Gmail and Docs that have been given a generative AI boost. Notes and Voice Memo could get an AI boost. The Notes and Voice Memo apps are useful for jotting down ideas or recording conversations. Until now, they've been barebones tools that simply capture what you don't want to forget. But with iOS 18, they might get big upgrades. The revamped Siri is rumored to provide summaries or transcripts of notes or voice memos. Additionally, recordings, transcripts, and summaries are reported to be included within the Notes app. The Notes app might also come with a feature specifically for solving math equations, thanks to integration with the Calculator app. Apple probably has more advanced calculations in mind, but an automated tip generator would be a godsend. Apple might catch up to Google's Magic Eraser and other photo editing tools. Apple is reportedly working on a custom emoji generator for iOS 18 and AI-powered features for the Photos app. It's unclear whether this is related, but Apple Insider shared how photo editing software on iOS 18 and macOS 15 might come with new generative AI features. This includes the ability to clean up photos by removing objects in the background and possibly generate images, according to references to a Generative Playground internal use application. It's worth noting that Google Pixel has had a similar tool in the form of Magic Eraser for some time now, so Apple would be playing catch-up for eager iPhone users. Apple's AI image-generating tools might include an integration with Messages, although details beyond that are unknown. The sources are credible, but all these rumors and expected announcements are subject to change. Apple loves to keep us on our toes, and we won't know for sure until June 10th when Tim Cook and company take the stage. Now back to the coffee time crew.
Well, we've been talking about this for a while as well. I mean, it's just something that's coming. I'm glad to see that Apple is, going to do something within their phone. I like the idea of having, at least a part of it be, on your phone and don't have to deal with the cloud. Although I know, again, AI is a lot of data, and not all of that data can be stored on your phone. So there's going to have to be some cloud integration there somewhere. But for simple tasks and stuff like that, being able to be right there on your phone, man, I just think it's going to be a big help. And yeah, Siri does need to go back to school. Siri needs another diploma. I mean, she's falling behind the learning curve here.
Yeah, Siri is a little bit lacking, so I can't wait to see the improvements for Siri. And then the smart replies for mail. Oh man, I already use the ones for Gmail. I love those.
Yeah. I haven't even done the Gmail ones, but the one they have for their searches, when I go like I need some help and it's like let's say Jaws or something, I just enter a query or whatever it may be and it gives me a summary and I'm like, hey. But sometimes to get back those search results it did prior, it's tough. I know when we get the list of websites, we can enter the same search and get the same results. Sometimes with the AI generated summary, you don't. You know, that's what I noticed. So sometimes it's hard to come back from that. But that aside, hey, I can't wait for the Siri to start working and all these AI features. Also, Paul, stop playing hooky. And he's over there listening to us. Good morning. But it's gonna be cool. I know at first it's gonna be enclosed. It's gonna be just a limited features. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, again, I mean, long as it's starting somewhere, you know what I'm saying? I mean, again, the plus that there's something new as far as having a certain level of this, like you say, being right on your phone to where you don't have to deal with the cloud integration part of it, So that's a step in the right direction. I mean, I know a phone storage is going to have to go, you know, improve a lot in order to be able to be solely on your phone, if ever. But again, it's a step in the right direction.
It is. It is. And in that point, and I have another article too. But before that, well, let's play this article, guys. Let's play this article.
You may need an iPhone 15 Pro or better to take advantage of iOS 18's AI features. Siri is dumb. It's a sad fact, but the little assistant has long been a butt of jokes for its propensity to misunderstand even the simplest of requests. As Gizmodo predicted at the start of the year, Siri is getting an AI upgrade that hopefully makes it far less of a nincompoop. It's part of a wave of new AI enhancements that should be announced for iPhones and iPads once WWDC 2024 rolls around on June 10th. Siri will be able to control Apple's apps and features far better than it currently can, according to Bloomberg's Apple guru Mark Gurman's anonymous sources. The on-device assistant should be able to handle any of the user's tasks and apps or control parts of the iPhone entirely. This will allow Siri to move documents from one folder to another, send emails, and summarize articles akin to a few Gemini Nano features available on Pixel phones. According to Bloomberg, the new Siri is being built on top of an LLM designed in-house. Other AI enhancements are coming to iPhones, such as voice memo transcriptions, web page summaries, automatic replies, and even AI-generated emojis. Some of these capabilities are handled on device, while others will necessarily need to be handled in the cloud. Other features might be restricted to the latest and greatest Apple devices, like the iPhone 15 Pro and the iPad Pro with M4. Unfortunately, there will be plenty of restrictions to start. Siri won't be able to control third-party apps. It won't be able to comprehend multiple commands at once, so if you want the phone to transcribe a voice memo and then email it to somebody, you'll need to issue a separate command after it completes its initial task. The Cupertino, California company is reportedly working on giving Siri more control over the phone. Still, we'll need to see exactly what Apple promises in a little more than a week. Bloomberg reports those broader capabilities won't be available until early next year. We have it on pretty good authority that Apple is in cahoots with OpenAI. The Sam Altman-led company has reportedly signed a deal with Apple to bring ChatGPT directly onto iPhone, as both Gurman and the information reported on the deal based on anonymous sources with knowledge of the company's dealings. The deal could be a big moneymaker for OpenAI, though Bloomberg mentioned Apple is still keeping its doors open for Google should they strike a deal to bring Gemini onto the iPhone. In the end, some users' information will need to be sent to the cloud if they want to use the more complicated AI tasks. Apple will reportedly store this information in a secure enclave in the company's data centers and then offer users an intelligence report explaining what Apple's doing with their data. The speed at which it performs may make or break these new Siri features. Large language models and chatbots aren't known for being quick on the draw. If a user asks Siri to copy and paste some text into an email, they definitely don't want to sit there for several seconds watching Siri spin its wheels. The NPU capabilities on the latest iPhones and iPads are strong for the device's footprint, but we've yet to see any program that can truly push the device's neural capabilities to the limit. Now back to the coffee time crew.
Well, the first alarming thing for me is what they said in the very, very beginning. You may need to get a 15 Pro or better. I mean, right now that is a great, the latest phone, but bottom line, all they're doing is making it to where people got to buy another phone. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, at least go back to where it's working within all of the pro models if you're going to put it in that category. But don't tell
Hey,
people.
they got to make their money. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. I mean, that's a good way to force people to upgrade.
Well, that's my point, though. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, people are going to end up having to upgrade eventually anyway, but to make people go out and buy the latest and greatest phone you got, you know what I'm saying? I mean, because right after this is released, what? I mean, I'm not sure which one comes out first, Pedro, the new phone or the new iOS.
Um, they come around the same time, sometimes a week or two after each other. Sometimes the phone comes out first, and then the update comes a week later. Sometimes it comes out the same day.
Right, but you guys get my point, right? I mean, come on. I
Right.
mean, they
Like
started
for
the
instance, I have the 11, so that means that I mean I
right,
plan on getting the 15, but I want to wait until the 16 comes out. When does the 16 come out?
Around
well,
September.
right, but then again, imagine if you were to be able to just upgrade to what was the first Pro model, the 12 or 13.
The 12th.
See, you understand what I'm saying?
And
Right.
also this is still a rumor. It could be true. I know Apple has been caught in shady dealings with throttling our phone and stuff like that, and they had to apologize and actually not apologize, but I had to put a statement out there because people were upset. People were saying that might be taking advantage, slowing our phones down, and saying we just throttling because your battery's kind of messed up or this part of your phone's messed up. But to us, it's gonna seem like our phone is slowed down, and it's gonna be like, we're gonna get a little frustrated, a little like, what, I need a new phone. And that's, I think, ultimately what their goal was on the throttling, but there was a big public blowback from that. And I think if you were throttled on the 7, if you have an iPhone 7 Plus, and not the 8 but the 7th, um they were giving out some money for them throttling you. So if you owned an iPhone, and I don't know if it's still open, but you were able to get some money back from that. And Apple always uh, has little problems like that. Another one was within the MacBook Pro with the butterfly keyboard. And I have issues with that right now. That little dust that gets in there, you're not able to pop the keys up and clean it with the little air, because they Apple made their own little type of system. But they had to change that because they got in a lawsuit and they had to fix all the Macs, and I was not in that time window in time, and I didn't know. But now they made it slightly different, their keyboards, but they always have certain little problems because they want to try to keep themselves looking, have their own thing and look good too. Um and I don't know why an iPhone 13 or a 14 and a 15 can't handle the AI features, meaning they could be limited, but I know it might be a task that is overwhelming for the phone. But Apple's just gonna try to play it safe in the beginning, you know, and it's not safe for us. It's safe for their project. Won't look bad if it kind of falls flat, you know.
Well, but that's giving them excuse to create an inferior product.
Yeah, and that's not an excuse for them, but we don't have no guidelines, and they're always making a phone every single year. Pretty soon, from what I'm seeing, they kind of have to slow down on that. You're popping phones every year, and not every year is super of an update. You know.
I mean, I agree, but at the same time, as long people are standing in line a week before the phone comes out, they're going to keep doing it. You
Yeah, it
know,
happens. I think on the later models now, recently, it hasn't really happened like that. With the waiting in line, there was a few models that, yeah, people were waiting in line, but I didn't see too much. I think this might be the one, depending on what type of features it has. You know what I mean? That people want to flock to the stores and camp out and wait for this. You know what I mean? Um, but our phones, the only thing that has really changed is slightly the chips, a little increased, a few, like, let's say, double digits, 20% or something increased on RAM and memory and things like that, and speed. But just the design of the phone has changed. You know what I mean? They use the stainless steel now also. So just those little aesthetics, how it feels in your hand. And Apple takes detail. they take great pride in detail. They want you to hold this phone, and they want you to feel that this phone it feels expensive. And I ain't gonna lie, it does. When you have it in your hand and you feel it without case, you could feel that that is expensive.
Yeah,
And
but most people are putting their phones in a case, so you're not really feeling the stainless steel or whatever
yeah,
they're making it
Yeah, I
out of.
put mine
Yeah.
in a case in case I drop it,
That part.
Um,
and I,
but what I've noticed is that when I'm like with right now with you all, whenever I get on an app that's live, uh, my phone gets so hot, you know, and it drains the battery so quick. So I know I'm gonna have to upgrade.
yeah, and people have these phone cooler cases now that they cool your phone down to. Um, I laughed Brittany's statement because it is so true. I be looking for see-through cases that don't turn yellow because I got this expensive phone that's 1,000 something, and you want me to cover it with a case that's like $20, $30? Like, come on! I want the phone to shoot through. I want it to show through. I want that little apple in the back of the phone to come through. You know what I
Right,
mean? I
right.
want to show off my phone. But this was me since I had an iPhone 2, an iPhone 3, iPhone 3S, because back then it was rare to catch people with those. But I was like, check this out. You know me and my tech. So I was like flaunting and stuff, you know, had my gear, but hey, I had to have a fly cell phone too.
I mean, it's just like whenever I go buy a phone, it will do matter you want, rose gold or what? Man, it don't matter. I'm gonna put a case on it anyway.
Right.
Don't none of that matter to me. I mean, plus I'm blind, so what? I'm more concerned about preserving the phone than showing off what it looked like.
Well, I think it's safe to say that Ed might have a pink phone in this case, and he doesn't know.
No, I do know I make sure I always order black or something like that. So
Okay.
Well, I definitely hope that the speakers are improved in the new phones because, man, I
Oh,
mean, when you're playing music, it's horrible. I,
Carol, from your phone to my phone, and I have a 13. It's way better because I had an iPhone 11, a regular iPhone 11,
okay.
and it's way better. I seen my better halves, Monica, and her phone is way louder than mine's, and
Oh, wow.
yeah,
and I remember
But,
when I had my XR, that was another reason why I went ahead and upgraded was the little speaker ports down at the bottom,
right,
they get plugged up.
they
They
do.
right.
actually get life grit in them, and they actually block the speaker. They muffle the sound. So
Gotcha.
so that's
And
another
I've
issue
cleaned
that
it, but it still just doesn't give me the sound that I want.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they have.
It gets clogged up, and I tried cleaning them too. But the newer ones, they rely more on the top side heads. You know where you put your ear at, that becomes a speaker also, and it becomes louder. It's what I noticed.
Right,
But
right, right, right.
Okay.
So I mean,
Well, I got to wait till
again,
November in order to get the new one, right?
well, I mean, in the minute that the new one is announced, that the old ones are going to be on sale. So the minute they announce the 16, the 15s will go on sale.
And when do they normally do that?
a month
Uh,
before. Look,
Oh,
Carol, I'll tell you a tip after the show.
okay.
But even for the folks in the show, let me just give a quick tip, guys. Look, when the new phone gets announced a month before, these top cellular companies sometimes have deals. I actually got my iPhone 13 Pro at $200.
What?
yeah,
Yeah, I traded in my 11 and got an iPhone Pro for $200 for a discount.
Oh,
And
wow.
um, I just had to pay the taxes there, like 100 and something. But hey, $8 a month, you can't beat that.
You can't beat that, right?
And
no.
the phone was 1,000 something.
So bottom line, work out your budget, see what works best for you. I mean, again, hopefully that this rumor will not be true, and you're going to need a 15 Pro to take advantage of this AI technology within the iPhone. But who knows until it's all said and done. So that all being said, it's been another great day, Monday. I appreciate everyone, Brittany and Carol and Pedro, and everybody that tuned in and listened to us as we were live streaming, and those that may listen to us a little bit later on. I really do appreciate you. Might as well throw this out there like everybody else does. You know, if you like what we're doing, please run over to YouTube, like, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. Hit the notification bell. Make sure that you get all the notifications whenever the Blind United goes live doing anything within YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And we really, really do appreciate y'all. So, anybody got anything else to say in closing?
No, we're good. We're good.
Just make your Monday magnificent.
That's right. Make your Monday magnificent. I like that, Carol. So, magnificent Monday. So, on that note, we appreciate everybody, and we look forward to hanging out with you again tomorrow. Everybody have a great